Hello everyone. Today we are going to see about classical waterfall model, and before going to start that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Shruti Patil, working as assistant professor in a department of IT, MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. So before going to start about the topic, today's overview are what is the classic waterfall model, definition we are going to see, advantages and disadvantages we are going to see about the waterfall model. So we are going to start the session. So first, what is waterfall model? As we know that waterfall model is a linear application development model that uses the rigid phases. Rigid means what? Which is not flexible. Okay now. So that uses the rigid phases, and when one phase ends, the next phase begins. So waterfall model is for linear application development. But the thing is, whenever we are using it for the development model, in this model the phases ends, means one phases ends. First we need to complete the one phase, next then only we have to go for the next phase. So this is what the main fundamental thing we are going to see in the waterfall model. So waterfall model is about completely linear development of application, and they are saying it is unmodifiable also. When we are talking about one phase ends, next going for the next beginning stages, then it is a unmodifiable, means if this phase is completed, when we are moving to the another phase, this phase we are unable to modify it. And this is about the waterfall model. And why they are naming it as waterfall means, because once the water falls down, it cannot be go back. As you know, it's a common thing, when the water fell down, water cannot move it back, right? Falling down is a different thing, and coming back is not possible even in the natural stages. So same thing, based on that they have used it as a unmodifiable, and the word called one phase ends and the next phase begins. That is the reason they called it as a waterfall model. So this is the structure about waterfall model. So these are the steps included in waterfall model. First steps, we are going to talk about feasibility study. Okay, so what is the feasibility study? Once the application, okay, suppose think that one XYZ company is there, okay, they have got one AB application or M1 as an application. So once any of the company get any of the application, they have to think about whether that project is feasible or not. What is feasible means, suppose think that XYZ company got an application, and that application or a product is a very huge product. Okay, now for that we need a more budget, but the company having very less budget. So that kind of study, that kind of topics we are going to discuss in the feasibility study step. So that project is feasible or not, the budget or the cost required for that project. Suppose that project is technically sounds more, but we have very less technical knowledge people, or the resources very less to build that kind of big application. So such kind of study we are going to do it in a feasibility study. Once the study has been done, once the cost of the project, budget of the project has been discussed, next we are going to start with the requirements analysis and specification stage. So what is requirement? Already in SDLC we got to know about requirement is a thing when an customer want to develop any of the application. Okay, a customer want to develop any of the application, so that developing that application, customer will come to the company called XYZ, and he is going to give his requirements one by one. Means his application should look like this only, he should have more than one or two modules. So that kind of requirement will be gathered, okay, and they can be analysis, and the specification can be done in the requirement analysis and specification stage. So here analysis means customer given requirement to the company, that requirement can be gathered and kept it in one document format. That document we are going to use it in a next step called designing. So main reason for collecting the requirement is for the designing purpose, because customer expecting a good quality of the design and good look and feel of the application. For that purpose, how much properly we are analyzing the requirement is very important in SDLC steps, in waterfall model step, or in any of the steps where we are going to collect the requirement from the customer, because how well we are documenting that all the requirement collected from the customer, like that impact will be on our design. So in designing phase, we are going to develop an architecture of an application or a product. Okay, so once the architecture has been done, or you may call it as a blueprint. So once the architecture has been done, based on the design, we are going to develop, or we are going to implement, you call it as coding. So we are going to code the application. So coding, along with the coding, we are doing the unit testing. So what is unit testing means? Once the application developed, designed, okay, once the application designed, then in that application designing, we are having different models. Okay, now suppose think that we are first developed model 1. Okay, once the model 1 developed, then it will go for the coding. Once the coding of the model 1 has been done, next that model 1 is tested separately, or you can call it as module separately. Testing each module of an application separately is called as unit testing. That can be done with the coding. So coding once done, along with that we are going for the unit testing, because each unit or each module what we have developed in an application, that can be tested separately, because in this phase only we can change some of the things as per the coding or as per the designing. So next, once the coding and unit testing done, we have to go for the main testing phase. That one we call it as what? Integration and system testing. So integration and system testing means what? I said we have an application, in that numbers of models will be there. It is based on the customer requirement. Model 1 done, model 2 done, model 3 and 4, 5, 6, both the model has been completed. So next what we are going to do, for separately each module testing done, that work has been done. But the next here in integration and system testing, what we will do means, model 1 will be integrated with model 2, model 2 with the model 3 and 4, 5, 6, like this complete model to model integration we have to do it. Once the integration step done, we are going to get the full system. So full system only we are going to test it here in our system testing. Again in system testing we have alpha testing, beta testing, okay, user acceptance testing. Once system testing we are doing means, we have to go through all these testing phases. The meaning of telling the system testing, what they are going to do it in the system testing means, whatever the complete application after integration we are going to get, that can be tested thoroughly, completely. A complete system will be tested. Here we have gone through the separate unit testing, then we have merged, integrated and complete system we got. On that system we are going to perform alpha testing, beta testing and user acceptance testing. Here what we have to do means, on the complete system we have to behave like a user, and we have to test the particular system or a complete application, because user is completely unaware of what are the technology they have used, on click of which button what will happen, on going to the next page where I should click. That is only less knowledge he is having, or some people completely unaware of how the system will work. So same thing we have to perform in this stage, because once we get to know where is the bug and where is the mistake we have done in the system, we have to go through this alpha testing, beta testing and user acceptance testings. So next stage is maintenance. So maintenance phase what we are doing is, so next comes the maintenance stage. So this is the very important steps in complete waterfall model, because maintenance means what we are going to do, whatever the steps we followed from feasibility study, requirement, design, coding and integration testing, in maintenance phase it will act as a very important stage in a waterfall model, because in maintenance we are going to release our application or an product to the customer, and once customer tested it, this is the phase where we are going to test all the things. Customer will test all the things and he may give the feedback to the company, or he may get some of the bugs or the errors he may get. Okay, that is completely based on the user, what is the bug he is going to identify. Or suppose think that you have developed complete system, he feels like, okay, this system if I added another model then it could look more good, or the look and feel of the application will be more good. That kind of the changes or the feedback or the errors failures, we are going to get it in the maintenance phase. So this is a very important phase in the waterfall model. So again I am repeating, what is feasibility study means? We are checking whether the application we are collecting that is feasible or not, and requirement analysis means we are going to collect the requirement, make it in a one document formation, because to design a proper design architecture we need. Once the design done, based on the design, coding and each module separately tested, and next in testing phases each module we are going to integrate and test it, a complete thorough system, and in that thorough system we have to go through for alpha testing, beta testing, and then user acceptance testing. And after doing all the process, then we have to come to the maintenance. The maintenance means what? Here we are going to get the feedback or any changes required from the customer. We can accept it at the end of this phase. So next we are going to see about what are the advantages of waterfall model. So waterfall model, in this main advantages, before going to the, as we discussed, before going to the next phase of the development, each phase must be completed. For example, see here, once the feasibility study done, then only we can go for gathering the requirement and make it in a document formation. Once the requirement gathering done, then only we can go for the designing. So that is the thing they are explaining here. Each phase must be completed. So each one stage has to be completed. One stage completed, then only we can go for the another stage. Either it can be design, coding or testing. So next, suited for smaller project, because this kind of application is very risky. If we are using for the big application or a big industry, they are not going to follow the waterfall model. It's not like they are not going to, all the steps will be same in all the models, but particularly when it comes to the waterfall model, they are never going to follow, because this is suited for smaller project. As we can say, smaller project having very less requirements, and if any changes we needed, also somewhat difficulties we are going to get it, and time period is also needed less to develop such kind of requirements. So that kind of thing they are telling, this model is suitable for smaller project. Next, project is completely dependent on project team with minimal client interaction. This line is very important. So project is completely dependent on project team. Okay, project team. Why they are telling it is completely dependent on project team means, see here, when we go for the diagram, so what is happening here, once we are project is feasible or not, then only this stage we are involving the customer, that only for gathering requirement, not for the next steps. We are not involving customer here or in coding or in testing. No, only we are involving customer, that too for gathering the requirement, because the main advantage of this module is only minimal interaction will be there with the customer, either at the requirement collection phase or at the maintenance phase or after the maintenance phase. So that can be a one advantage. If we don't interact the customer in middle of the development process, then it will be done, the development or coding. Next comes the any changes in the software is made during the process of the development. So that's what we discussed here. Whenever we are developing, okay, we are developing we are coding it, at that stage we are doing unit testing, because whenever we are checking the small modules separately, taking it module 1, module 2 separately and testing it, we got to know that we are going to get small kind of errors or small kind of bugs, that we can fix it in this stage only. So that is the one advantage, like any changes in the software is made during the process of development. So these are the advantages of waterfall model. Now we are going to see about what are the disadvantages. So see here, first point what they are telling is, it is not desirable for the complex project. As we discussed, complex project means what? The big projects. For example, Flipkart you take, Amazon you take, such are the projects, such kind of the project we are not going to involve a waterfall model. It's not like involving, we are not going to use it. Steps we may follow, but complete we are not, that project completely not based on the waterfall model, because requirement changes frequently. separately. Such kind of project, that is a huge project, not only Amazon or Flipkart, any huge project, there may be each step a user may require the changes, or company may need of thinking of like, okay, if this could be changed, means it will be helpful for the project, or look and feel will be good. They can discuss with the customer. If customer is agree, they can add the changes. So frequently requirement changes will be done in the big application or a complex project. So that is the reason we are unable to use the waterfall model in the big application. Next, they are telling client's valuable feedback cannot be included with the ongoing development phase. So this we can take it as very important process. Cannot be feedback from whom? From the clients or customer. The feedback cannot be included with the ongoing development phase. Ongoing development phase means what? See here, from the starting of the project, we said now only customer involvement will be in the second step. From here to here, there is a no involvement of the customer. Why there is a no involvement of the customer? Because without ongoing development phase, what they will do? Customer may come in middle of the coding. He can tell, I don't want the module 1, remove it. But we are developing the module 2. Suppose think that module 1 is developed. Okay. Module 2 we are working on. This is tested separately. This is 100% bug free module. Then we are working 50% of the work done for the module 2. Then if customer come in the middle of the coding stage and he is telling, I don't want a module 2 and this module 2 information I want to add it in a module 1 only. Then what will happen? The waste of the time and the code we need to integrate again. While integrating, we may get the bug, or it may not looks good if we add the feature of module 2 into the module 1. So there are a lot of the important changes has been done in the project that may impact on the final look or final development of an application. So that is the reason they are telling here, valuable feedback cannot be included with the ongoing development of the phase. When it will be included? Once the maintenance phase has been done. That time only in waterfall model we are allowing the customer, okay, now tell what is the feedback you want to give, what is the extra module you want to add, what is the error you got, bug you got. That all things will be done once the maintenance phase will be done. Next comes small changes or errors that arises in the completed software may cause a lot of problem. That is the reason these 2 points are interlinked, I can say. So because once we involve the customer into the ongoing project, if they tell the small changes or any error that may arises, the complete software may cause a lot of problem. I said now, if we have developed so many models, at the middle he come and customer telling that I don't want this model because we integrated it. If they don't want this model to this model integration we have to do. There may be a code changes, there may be a design changes. So lot of problem will arise. For customer it may looks like a small, removing this as a small change, but that may impact the complete project or development process. So these are the some disadvantages the waterfall model is consisting of. We have seen that. First thing I want to say is that waterfall model is easy to understand because it's a kind of a process, like we are involving the customer based on his requirement. We are developing, coding, testing, and maintenance has been done. This is an easy flow of the steps and we call it as like a water flow. So it is easy to do it, the process is easy to do and the development is easy to follow the coding and all, everything is easy. And they are telling it doesn't require lot of customer involvement and after the specification is done. So customer involvement is not there, means we can easily follow with all the steps and we can easily finish one by one steps for the development process. And more important thing about waterfall model is it has a rigid structure, means it don't have a flexibility in each of the steps. Once the development done, then we are going for coding. Once the coding is going on, we cannot go back to the development process. That is the reason we calling it as a rigid structure. This is the each model is not a flexible. So next in waterfall model, one important thing is that if we want to go for the real-time example, if you have constructed your dream house or if you have constructed any of the apartment, if you compare that with the waterfall model, once you given the constructor that I want to develop this kind of dream house, you have given the requirement to him, then what you are doing? from giving requirement, finally you are going to the opening ceremony of your house, then what will happen there? Once you go there inside and you will see, Ari, this should be come in this side, kitchen should be come in another direction, and the bedroom should be looks like this, the color should be like this, then it cannot be possible to change it. Then what you will do, instead of doing all the, you are living in your house, you started destructing the house. So same thing will happen. If that constructor involved in middle of the any of the stages, you may allow to change, but as per the waterfall requirement, once the requirement given, you are reaching at the final stage only, you are able to see your project at the end of the application or end of the development process. So same thing will happen in the real life also. If you given requirement for the construction of house, if you came at the end and you are seeing, you are unable to remove all the things whichever you said, you want any extra things, then you have to rebuild it. Time waste and cost waste, all things will be waste. This kind of model we are going to use only for the small kind of application. So that's the reason waterfall model we are going to call it as a rigid structure which is not flexible. One important summary kind of thing what I want to tell it here is, waterfall model requirement from the customer will be freezed. Means requirement cannot be involved in the middle steps or middle of the project. Requirement collected, the application we are going to develop. Then only after the maintenance phase, customer can come here, he can see his project. If he is okay. Otherwise, if you want to give the requirement or call it as a feedback, then we can accept the feedback after the maintenance phase. Then again same phases will be repeated. So waterfall model is used for linear development of an application, and the requirement will be freezed in the waterfall model. Thank you.